Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to talk about modern Doctor Who. And my question is, at what point do you feel, if you feel that modern Who has kind of fallen off the wagon, fallen off the tracks, lost its way, if it's not quite where it started out at, or if it's not quite up to par with classic Who to you, I want to know what series do you think is where the show fell off for you? Even looking back in hindsight, when you look at series 1 through series 13, where do you think the show just kind of fell off? For me, of course, it's hard to pinpoint just one series because it was kind of a gradual process, and I could see people having different opinions at different points because I can see flaws in things. Like even series 2 has really great episodes, really bad episodes. It's a very mixed series. And I still love series 3 and 4. I like series 5, even though some of its episodes like Vincent and the Doctor aren't so great. But for me, if I had to pick a series where everything really starts to fall apart, for me it's series 6. This is where the show goes from being a powerhouse to being a mixed bag, especially. Like I said, you see some of the cracks of that in series 5, but I still think series 5 is overall a good season. Series 6 is very much a mixed bag. It's really when you see Stephen Moffat becoming a bit too clever for his own good, and trying to do things to go, see how clever I am, see how smart I am, and still failing to wrap everything up in the neat bow the way he should. Some plot lines just get dropped, and some of it just feels rushed to wrap up. Series 7, both parts of it are also a mixed bag. All of Capaldi's era is a mixed bag, even though Capaldi is a good doctor. He's a great actor playing a really good version of that doctor that he's supposed to be, which isn't really my kind of doctor, but he's phenomenal at being that kind of doctor. But his era is very much a mixed bag. A lot of really good stories, a lot of really bad stories, with a few stories in the middle. And then, of course, Series 11 is just a mess. Some people love Series 11, and I understand why. They think it harkens back to the Hartnell days with historicals and a bigger TARDIS. But for me, I think it's a mess, although at least the Doctor herself is pretty self-confident in it. And as much as I like Series 12 for the most part, I do think it's the strongest season since Series 5 in terms of just episode count that I like, or percentage-wise. I don't like how the Doctor becomes so behind events happening around her, so unsure of herself, so she has such a lack of confidence after everything that happens in Spyfall. And of course Flux is just a mediocre mess. So I definitely think Series 11 and Flux are easily the two weakest of the modern show. Well, of course Series 9 isn't super great, but the good episodes in it are good, like the Under the Flood 2-parter, and of course Heaven Sent are amazing. Sleep No More is underrated. I'm not saying it's great, but it's underrated. It's got some neat ideas in it that just don't get realized quite as well as they should. It's got some neat concepts in it. But for me, where it starts to go off the cliff, where it starts to falter, is Series 6. Series 6 has some good episodes. Series 6 has some bad episodes. And then Series 6 just has some they're there episodes, like the Almost People 2-parter. I don't necessarily hate that one, but I never had the desire to go back and rewatch it. I have rewatched it. I've watched it probably 3 or 4 times. It isn't bad. It does some neat stuff, but I just find it uninteresting looking back. It's more like, oh, I could watch the Almost People. Yeah. Or I could watch The Power of Prowl. Same end effect. Yeah, there's just a lot of that in that one. And then that trend just continued through pretty much the rest of Moffat's run, where you could have a season like season 8 with stellar stories like Time Heist and Deep Breath is good, Flatline, Mummy on the Orient Express, but then you'd add stuff like The Caretaker and Kill the Moon, and the Forest of the Night that just drag it down. So it really is good, bad, maybe 1 or 2 middle. The finale was kind of middling. And then Series 9's mostly not great. Series 10 is pretty strong, but it has some weak spots in it too, like the Monk trilogy. And and it's something Doctor Who's never recovered from. I think the only season that I would classify as more than a mixed bag is probably Series 12, which is odd because I don't like Whittaker's Doctor that much in that, but I do really enjoy the stories because I liked Spyfall. I love the Tesla episode a lot, way better than Vincent and the Doctor. I actually like Fugitive of the Jadoon. Praxis is just uninteresting. It's not bad, it's just uninteresting. I can't remember what episode 7 was. The one when the woman stuck between the comets. I forget the name of it. It's not It Takes You Away. But whatever it's called, it's decent. It just has a Deus Machina ending that feels rushed. It would have really... That's an episode that would have really benefited from... Can You Hear Me, I think is the name of it. Yeah, Can You Hear Me? It would have really benefited from being in a classic Doctor Who format. Maybe being 4 25-minute episodes when you would have had time to maybe have a better ending, so it just didn't resolve because the screwdriver that can't manage wood can hack a god's fingers. Boy, I mean, I've always known the screwdriver was a bit of a MacGuffin. That's why they got rid of it in Classic Who. But I don't think I ever realized how much until I saw her hacking the fingers. Other than that, it's a great episode, but you lose me there. That's the Vincent going to the future, jumping the shark moment for me in that one. And then, of course, I love The Haunting of Villa Diodati or whatever it's called. And even Ascension of the Cybermen's good. It's just the Timeless Children that really... If Timeless Children wasn't in that season would really be good. But Timeless Children is just... Ugh, what a way to end a good season. And then Flux is a mess all over the place. Which, not all of that's Chibnall's fault. I mean, COVID was obviously a big problem. But still, it's... What a mess. So yeah, I would say Series 6. And it never really recovered from that. I think the best it did after that in terms of quality was probably Series 12, even though there are stories from other seasons that are better. Like, you know, Series 12 doesn't have any story that's, I think, is as good as Flatline or Mummy on the Orient Express or Heaven Sent, stuff like that. So there are seasons with better stories, just not as many good stories. So I'd say Series 6. I want to know what you think, so comment down below and let me know, because I always enjoy hearing from you guys. Other things to do, click the like button and the subscribe button and the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. We're closing in on 800 subscribers as I record this. We're like 793, so if you watch my content a lot and haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that button. It's free and it helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Can't talk today. Algorithm. Plus it helps me get towards my goal of 800 and then towards my future goal of 1,000. So I really appreciate that. I also want to give a shout out to 2 of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane and the 5th Doctor. I appreciate their continued support as I do the support of all of my patrons. I also do have a Patreon if you like what I do and would like to support what I do. A link to that is down in the description below as well. I have a P.O. box if there's anything Doctor Who related you would like to send me. You can find that down there. Or if there's just anything non-Doctor Who related you'd like to send me, that's down there as well. I got Blake 7 recently. I'm looking forward to watching that. And then I also have an Amazon wish list with a link to that down there as well. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching.